And good morning. My guest today is Andy Moore. You've seen Andy Moore on this program before in so many different groups that are doing good things for Oklahomans. Today it's people, not politicians, and we're talking about redistricting. Andy, why is redistricting important?
So redistricting happens once every 10 years, and it's the opportunity for state legislature to redraw their district maps and our congressional maps to ensure that every person's vote counts equally.
All right, and most of the stuff I've seen, the discussion has been about the maps and how they've been drawn, and people like you, you're not happy with it. Why?
Yeah, the problem with the system is that politicians right now are allowed to draw their own districts and draw their own maps. Essentially, it's politicians getting to pick their own voters, and that's not how the system's supposed to work.
Most of the states, a lot of the stuff I've seen is that, yeah, this happens, and to the victor go the spoils. Democrats run states, redistrict in a way that helps them, ours the same way. Isn't this just sort of more of the normal? We've become used to this?
I think it's definitely more the normal, but the normal is not good enough for Oklahoma, right? The problem with politicians drawing their own maps is that we get maps like the ones that they've proposed for our congressional seats, where they've divided Oklahoma County between 3 different congressional seats in the way that hasn't been done for 30 years. The last time it was done, Scott, it was because Democrats gerrymandered the maps. Today it's Republicans.
Okay, so let's get to that. I think we're talking about 5th district, right? So for many, many years, Republicans had all of the congressional districts. For 2 years, Congresswoman Horn had it, and now Congresswoman Bice is in charge. A lot of groups are saying this is really done to keep Congresswoman Bice in power. Any truth to that, in your opinion? I'm
sure that's the case. The only people that are satisfied with these maps are the politicians who benefit from the way that they're drawn. The fact that they've divided Oklahoma County between congressional districts 3, 4, and 5 mean that people who live in Oklahoma County don't have the voice, the power, and the influence in Congress like they used to. That means that politicians aren't accountable to the people.
Okay, let's stay on that for just a moment. You're saying that it hurts the people that are being moved out of that particular district. Give me a real-world example of how that works or what the harm is.
Sure. Well, one great example is that the way that they've drawn the 3rd district is that all of South Oklahoma City, 86,000 of our Hispanic friends and neighbors are now in the 3rd district, which includes cities like Guymon, all of the Panhandle, and all of western Oklahoma. They no longer will have a voice about the matters here in central Oklahoma, in Oklahoma County, that affect them really day to day.
All right. One of the things that I hear from leadership, and Speaker McCall will be here next week to follow up on this, but they're saying, hey, this was transparent. There were people that a lot of public has had input into this. You don't agree?
Well, I will agree that they held meetings, they did things that they haven't done in the past. However, I don't think any Oklahoman would agree that feedback from a few hundred people to represent 4 million people is enough when these maps are going to be in place for 10 years. This is a really big deal, and they need to allow the public to provide feedback on the maps now that we've actually seen them.
All right, special session coming up shortly. What do you want to see done now that you've seen what the maps say and people are talking about the districts? When this session happens, what do you want to happen?
Yeah, I think the big question is, are they going to listen to the people? Representative Martinez indicated in the press conference last week that these maps are done, that the public comment period is over. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that they listen to the public and get some feedback on the maps now that they've been seen.
All right, so we got about 30 seconds left. For people that want to get into this, because this is a deep dive, and we can't really cover everything in 4 minutes here, but for people who want to know more about this, what should they do?
Yeah, you can definitely go to our website. It's peoplenotpoliticians.org and learn about the process and learn about how you can have a voice in changing these maps and make sure that they are representative for the people of Oklahoma.
And the House Senate will have to agree and the governor will sign, correct?
That's correct.
Andy Moore, thanks for being here and helping us understand what's going on.
Thanks, Scott.
See this again at news9.com/yourvotecounts and follow me on Twitter @MitchellTalks.